Hi, my name is Haoran Shi, and this is my open source contribution project. I chose to work on the Scrappy repository, and Scrappy is a tool that's targeted for other developers to provide a free and open source framework that allows them to build their own spiders and perform web scraping. So, a quick walkthrough of the GitHub repository. It goes into a bunch of different folders. The docs is the documentation. Extras is just extras. Scrappy is where the bulk of the functionality is. So it has the downloader, it has the handlers, has the HTTP handlers, it has a middleware. It also has the utils, which is where I later write my function. And it also has the test folder. And this test folder is where all the unit tests are stored. So and then beyond that is just a lot of other documentation. So to jump into my functionality, I extracted the value or the warning functionality so that when so this function will read a spider object and it'll support the deprecated version. So like if an attribute is all uppercase, then it'll still support that, but it will raise a deprecation warning so that the developer knows that this is like the older, not no longer supported version. So it'll handle that gracefully. And if a lowercase is present, it'll prefer that lowercase convention. And if neither lowercase or uppercase attribute name is present, it'll just return the default value. So then I tested this function in test deprecate helper.py, which is a script that I created in test to test the function that I wrote in deprecate.py. So the three test cases that I checked for are if the uppercase attribute like the legacy one is there, then a warning is to be raised, and I use like the warnings library to be able to achieve that. And when both the lowercase and the uppercase are there, then the lowercase is preferred, and there's no warning that's raised, so it'll handle that gracefully. And then if neither attribute is present, so neither uppercase or lowercase, then just the default value is returned. And in this case, I use download timeout, that being one of the variables that had this issue. And I just used that to test that my function was working. After I tested that and see here, I passed all three test cases. I went ahead and I updated the inline usage for those variables that were listed in the issue, including the download timeout, including user agent, and a few other ones in protocol throttle and sitemap. So that's basically the contribution that I made. And there wasn't much that didn't work. It was pretty straightforward to really go in there and like read the docs, understand how the warning is set up, especially because there was a previous issue that this issue is now building off of. So I was able to really read into that and get a quick understanding to um the process like that I would be able to fix this with. Some unexpected problems that I encountered was that because this is a Mac OS, like my laptop is a Mac OS, there was an issue with my system not recognizing Python, and I had to go into like the documentation that I didn't think I would need, um, and read here like about how to um like reinstall like a Python just for this project. And that actually did help solve it. So a lesson that I've learned is to give myself a little more time than I think I'll need. Start a little bit earlier. There will be roadblocks along the way, even if you think it's a really straightforward project. And to also look more closely at the setup and see if there are nuances depending on the operating system. Just keeping in mind those small details. Thank you so much.